Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you some incidents regarding the Bidens, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, the usual type of things in which Joe Biden snaps at reporters, not once but twice. These are reporters who, of course, voted for Biden. They helped get him electable, if not elected in general. And also we have this, which is the latest thing to drop from the Hunter Biden laptop scandal, in which he is seen in this photo with a very young lady. And beside that, we have a conversation which appears to be between Hunter Biden and some kind of agent woman who works as like a madam who provides girls to seedy men or men who are looking for seedy things. This is nothing unusual for Hunter Biden, but what makes this newsworthy is the fact that at the bottom there you can see he says no yellow. He uses the terms domesticated foreigner and no yellow. What do you think he means by no yellow? He's talking about a Asian woman, a woman of Asian descent. Now just imagine if Don Jr. or any child from the Trump family had done something similar, had said something similar, or were caught in a photo like this you can see on your screen, only instead of it being Hunter Biden, it was Don Jr. Imagine what the mainstream media would say, imagine what they would do, imagine the field day they would have. But because it's a Biden, it's radio silence, as usual. So look, we'll get into the video now. You can see the message and the photo on the screen, so it doesn't require any further input from me, but we will get into the two clips of Joe Biden at his little European jaunt, in which he snaps at CNN reporters, of all people, the very CNN reporters who helped get him elected. So we'll jump into that now, but if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and share this video around. It is important that you share it. We are shadow banned, demonetized and reduced. We are conservative commentators, and as such we are not welcome on the platform. So we need you to share this around and to engage with us to help us try to combat the shadow banning. Okay, let's go. Okay, so now we move on from that Hunter Biden latest scandal that will never be, because the mainstream media will never pick it up and run with it. So the likes of conservative commentators such as us have to show you it. So now moving on to Joe Biden himself, here are two clips of him with the mainstream media who helped him, who voted for him, and he snaps at them because they're not asking him the usual questions like, what's your favourite colour, are you enjoying that ice cream, what's your pet dog's name, and so on.
Confident he'll change his behavior, Mr. President.
Yeah, I'm not confident in changing behavior. What the hell, what do you do over there? So when did I say I was confident?
You said in the next 6 months you'll be able to determine.
What I said was, let's get it straight. I said what will change their behavior is if the rest of the world reacts to them and they diminishes their standing in the world. I'm not confident of anything. I'm just stating the fact.
But given his past behavior has not changed, and in that press conference after sitting down with you for several hours, he denied any involvement in cyber attacks, he downplayed human rights abuses, he even refused to say Alexei Navalny's name. So how does that account to a constructive meeting as President Putin framed?
You don't understand that, you're in the wrong business.
Is the summit with China next?
Cool, we need to load. Cool, we need to load quickly. Let's go. Quickly, cool.
So that must have been, that's the first clip, we'll run the second one in a second. I just want to give my thoughts. So that must have been devastating for the mainstream media shills. I believe the woman who asked the question was Caitlin Collins, I think that's her name. She's from CNN. She must have been highly offended by that, because Joe Biden is her messiah. He is the messiah of all the mainstream media people. They love him, they love the establishment because they are the establishment. So she asked him, for once, a legitimate question. Credit where credit's due. Instead of asking him what his favourite ice cream was, she asked him a legitimate question, and because of that, he snapped at her. And we'll go back, and that's a legitimate snapping, right? And the thing about Joe Biden's snapping events where he yells at people and raises his voice, a lot of the time, the context for yelling doesn't exist. He will just start yelling for no reason, right? The context would require a simple answer, yet he loses it and just starts yelling until he realizes he's yelling, and then he tries to dial it back a bit. Look, let's watch again.
Why are you so confident he'll change his behavior, Mr. President?
I'm not confident in changing behavior. What the hell? What do you do all the time?
What the hell? What do you do all day? That's me quoting him. They're talking. The question was about Putin. We had the meeting that was supposed to be televised, but they decided at the last minute, the Biden camp, to do it behind closed doors because they knew Biden would make a fool of himself and by extension make a fool of the United States. It was only the other day we saw the footage of Joe Biden literally bumbling around a cafe in the G7 area in Cornwall, England. He wasn't supposed to be in that cafeteria. He just bumbled his way into it, and he was only rescued by his wife when his wife went, "Come here, come on, come here," like that, like you would a child or a dog or a puppy or a kitten. "Come on, come here, that's it, that a boy, come here." And Biden, of course, did that. He kind of trailed along with that kind of excited, half shocked, half wondrous look on his face that people of limited intelligence have. I'm sure you know what I mean. People of limited intelligence, they always have that wondrous, like, awe-inspired look on their face because they find everything so fascinating. A sign of dementia. Look at his face here. Look how angry he is. He just got asked one question. Look at how Kayleigh McEnany and Donald Trump and everyone on the Trump team was treated by these people. They were asked fantastically loaded gotcha questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and very rarely did Trump bite. And on the occasions when he did bite, he didn't just snap and yell incoherently. When Donald Trump bit, he would rebuke them with scathing, witty, intelligent, masculine responses. This is just an outburst of senile, dementia-laden rage, and you can see it on his face there.
What did I say I was confident?
You said in the next 6 months you'll be able to determine.
What I said was, let's get it straight. I said what will change their behavior is if the rest of the world reacts to them and it diminishes their standing in the world. I'm not confident of anything. I'm just stating the fact.
But given his past behavior has not changed, and in that press conference after sitting down with you for several hours, he denied any involvement in cyber attacks, he downplayed human rights abuses, he even refused to say Alexei Navalny's name. So how does that account to a constructive meeting as President Putin?
You don't understand that, you're in the wrong business.
Is the summit with China next?
Pool, we need to load. Pool, we need to load quickly. Let's go. Quickly, pool.
And now they all get ushered out, presumably to ask him about ice cream. I'm sure you remember that clip. I think it happened a few times, but the last one, they said to him, they were fawning all over him, and they said, "What's that flavour of ice cream you're eating, Mr. President?" And Joe Biden said, "I think it was mint chocolate chip." And they literally all responded with, "Wow, oh, that's so lovely." Anyway, look, let's move on to the next clip. So this is the next clip in which he snaps again at reporters because they're not asking him about his pet dog or whatnot.
Guys, I'm going to drive you all crazy because I know you want me to always put a negative thrust on things, particularly in public, and negotiate in public.
I don't know how he can say that, always put a negative spin on things, because the mainstream media have been nothing but positive towards the Biden. They are the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. I mean, what more do you want from them? They helped you get where you are now. You know, according to the voting figures, you apparently, Biden, ran the best campaign in all of history, bar none, by the amount of the vote share you got, when all you did was stay in your basement. You never left. When you did leave, you were gaffe prone every time you opened your mouth. Your son was going through an immense scandal, which your friend here, who you are berating, did their very best, their level best, to make sure that the general public did not see. And they were very successful in that, working arm in arm with big tech such as Facebook and Twitter, and to an extent YouTube. This is why conservative commentary channels, big and small, like mine, I mean we are small of course, we don't get the reach that we used to, because they're limiting our ability to reach people because we are critical of the Democrat Party. So taking all that on board, how can you say that, Biden? How can you say about you realise there has to be a negative spin on things? You've never had a negative question asked of you. This is new. And every time it's happened today, you've snapped. Every time.
I don't have to trust somebody. We didn't have to trust somebody to get start two. It wasn't about a trust. Well, I trust the Russians. I can tell, man, they're really.
So he's gone away from the microphone and he's mumbling like an idiot. You can't hear what he says. There's no point in me turning the volume up because the sound of the aeroplane will just blow your earbuds out. But he's mumbling now away from the person recording, so you can't hear what he's saying.
They're self-interest. I don't trust anybody. Look, I've got to get the plane, but I'll say it.
I don't trust any, but look, I've got to get in the plane, but I'll say it.
So let me say
your plane, you can go when you want.
Yeah, no.
So the fawning media, it's your plane, you can go when you want.
No, but here's the thing, folks.
Make no mistake, all of these people here, the American press, they all voted for him. All of them. Let that sink in. So do you really have a free press?
I don't see any benefit ever to begin a negotiation. And I mean, you're the brightest people in the country. You're the most informed people on detail. I'm not being solicited. You are.
So he's now complimenting them, flagellating them, saying they are the brightest people, they are the most important people. Possibly a slip there, a Freudian slip, because they are very important to him, not the American people, not you, British mainstream media types. They're not important to me or French to the French people. The media is important to him. That could be a Freudian slip there, because they are very important to him. They help bury things such as the latest Hunter Biden laptop stuff I showed you at the beginning of this video, with the how many times have these guys, the Bidens, got to make racist comments before the mainstream media points the finger at them? Hunter Biden on the text message to the madam, the female agent who procures women for elite people, Hunter Biden said no yellow. That means no Asian women. That's what he means by it.
But it makes no sense for me to negotiate with you. It makes no sense for me to tell you what I'm about to do. It makes not because I want to hide anything from you.
He's contradicting himself, right? He says, let's go back and listen again. He says not because he wants to hide anything from you, the people, that's the mainstream media. That is exactly what he wants to do.
With you. It makes no sense for me to tell you what I'm about to do.
It makes no sense for me to tell you what I'm about to do, because he's not going to do anything beneficial to the American people. He's going to do something that benefits him and his little cushy global elite friends, not you. The Biden voters who voted for him and are having now buyer's remorse. Did you honestly expect, after 50 years in Washington, he was suddenly going to become a for you type person?
Not because I want to hide anything from you. Why would I telegraph that?
So they all nod. Yeah. You know, he could say anything to them and they would nod. Oh yes, Mr. Biden. Oh yes. So we're back where we started, and this is where we will end the video. I will leave this here for you. That is a photo from, I believe, Hunter Biden's laptop. The message next to it is from Hunter Biden's laptop. This is Hunter Biden with a girl who doesn't look older than 17. And next to them, it is the message between Hunter Biden and a woman who I believe appears to be a madam of one of these agencies. I think she's the agent that offers the girls to these elitist type people. And he's saying, the female agent is saying that she has a German, age 26. And then Hunter Biden says, no, Lucy, I think. So it's someone he's had before. The agent says, okay, so fine. Do you want foreign or domestic? To which Hunter Biden replies, and you have to make the pitch directly. In other words, he wants her to go and speak directly to the girl. To which the agent replies, I can't give you an effing Asian, sorry, I'm not going to do it. Which Hunter Biden replies, quote, domesticated foreigner. Domesticated foreigner. Imagine if all of this was Don Jr. Imagine the field today the mainstream media would have. And then down at the bottom, no yellow. No yellow. That means no Asian. That's what he means. You know what? I really do love to play the imagine if the Conservative did it game. Imagine if the Trump did it game. It's a game that just highlights perfectly the imbalance we have in modern society. It really does. Anyway, look, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't yet subscribed to the Hoggcast, like the video and share the video around. We are shadow banned, demonetized and deboosted. We don't get recommended anymore. We are conservative commentators, and as such, we unfortunately are not welcome on YouTube. YouTube is a great platform. I love YouTube, but they just don't want people who have different opinions on their platform. So if you could share the video around and do those things, it would really help me out. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.